We can go back to Parliament, where the minority is sending an appeal to IPPs not to shut down their plants starting tomorrow. Parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante has joined us with more. Kweku, the Mines and Energy Committee have met the IPPs. Has there been any resolution?
So, Aisha, the information we picked is that the meeting did not come out as planned. Indeed, the minority expected that they were going to be able to convince the IPPs to go back on that threat to shut down their power plants, but the IPPs did not listen. The IPPs say that they need a lot of money now because they need to maintain the plants, they need to buy fuel, they need to do a lot of things to keep the plants in motion so that they can produce power for Ghanaians. And government indebtedness running into $1.7 billion is not allowing them to be able to properly do so. And so they are now calling on government to pay these amounts of money. It is on the back of that that the minority is making this appeal to the IPPs to give government some time to ensure that this amount of money is paid. You also heard the minority led by John Jinapo also claim that the minister is actually doing selective payments and that he's paying some IPPs and not paying others, and that this situation, if left unchecked, is going to compound the situation. So the appeal is now going to the IPPs. They made that threat that by the end of this month, and the month ends today, if government does not pay their outstanding debts, then they are going to shut down their plants. They have just a few hours for that deadline to be met, and if the money is not paid and the IPPs do not back down, then we expect some massive Dumsor, like the minority put it.
Kweku, what else is happening in Parliament? At least has James Datchukwe been sworn in?
The expectation was that James Datchukwe will be sworn in today. Yesterday, the information we had was that the Electoral Commission was yet to forward the instrument of election to the Speaker of Parliament for him to be able to swear in Datchukwe. It appears that has been done now, because if you look at the other paper, the swearing of oath is listed on the other paper, that the expectation was that it will be done today. But that will not be done per the information I've picked, because the Speaker of Parliament himself is not around. He has traveled. And now the new date for swearing in Datchukwe is said to be Tuesday next week.
Kwasante is our man in Parliament. Definitely, there's more for you from Parliament in our subsequent bulletins. But let's stick with the IPPs, because James Vergie has been following new developments. What do we know as we brace ourselves for the deadline, which is tomorrow?
Okay, Aisha, so as we speak, there is a crunch meeting between the ECG, which was expected to lead negotiations all this while, is currently having a crunch meeting with the IPPs. And this meeting is expected to end in a few hours. Now, the conclusion of this meeting will determine whether the IPPs will suspend their intended shutdown or not. Now, what we are also picking is that some of the IPPs have accepted some amount of payment from government in that earlier individual engagement that happened between 27 and yesterday. What is not clear is exactly how much they have been paid. Now, what this means is that even if the scheduled shutdown should happen, not all of these IPPs will shut down their plant as a result of that particular payment. But we know that there is another meeting that is supposed to happen between the IPPs themselves at exactly 5 p.m., after which they will come out with an official decision as to whether they will shut down their plant or not. But the understanding is that because of that payment, not all of them would obey that directive. Now, some sources within the ECG are also optimistic that at the end of the day, there will not be that intended shutdown. But by 5 p.m., we should know whether this shutdown will happen or otherwise.
Let's all pray that it doesn't happen, because it's never pleasant to sleep in the darkness. James Vergie brought us details from all quarters as we wait tomorrow to see if the plants will be shut down to others.